Hello, my name is Nitin Virudkar from BMC Software. In this slide, we are going to discuss about estimating time needed to execute Delta data migration, and depending on this estimated time, how to plan further activities in staging upgrade. Delta data migration utility is usually used during staging upgrade approach to migrate Delta data from earlier version stack to latest version stack. Let's discuss and understand more about it in next few slides. During this discussion, I will introduce you to Delta data migration utility. Next, we will discuss about role of Delta data migration during staging upgrade. I will also give you the brief introduction of upgrade approach. Running Delta data migration takes considerable amount of time. You should know about estimating the same, else your staging upgrade plan may go on toss. So we will discuss about how to estimate Delta data migration utility execution time, and we will take you through the demo to know each and every step while estimating the Delta data migration. Depending on this estimated time, we can plan further upgrade activities. In this introduction slide, I will brief you about BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management upgrade approach. BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management can be upgraded using two different approaches. First is in-place upgrade. In this case, we bring down the stack and upgrade it there itself. And so, during complete upgrade cycle, this stack is not available to the customer. So the expected downtime with this approach is very high. Second approach is staging upgrade. In this case, we clone the environment, we call it as a staged area. Instead of upgrading it in actual environment, we upgrade it in staged environment, so that downtime is very minimal and stack is available to the customer during its upgrade cycle. Once the clone stack is upgraded, we run Delta data migration to bring Delta data from parent stack to clone stack, so that data on parent and clone stack are in sync. We'll discuss more about what is Delta data and why this sync is needed in next slide. Once it is done, you are ready to run CLM migration and then go live. As I mentioned earlier, in this slide, I am going to discuss about what is Delta data and why Delta data migration is needed in staging upgrade approach. When we are upgrading stack in staging area, parent environment, which I will refer here as production environment, is still live and customer is accessing it. Upgrading clone environment may take considerable amount of time. It may be due to different issues when we are upgrading the environment or handling customizations and UAT cycles. It may take weeks or a month, depending on how complex your environment is. During this period, your production environment is still live and end users are populating data. This data created on production, since you clone the environment, is called Delta data. As we will be switching clone environment as a production environment for customer, we need to make sure there is no data loss, and so we need to bring this data from production to staging. Once this data is in place, we can take final downtime to run CLM migration and get ready to go live. We selected the staging approach because we wanted to have minimal downtime for customer. This downtime is very much dependent on Delta data migration timing. Depending on the Delta data count, Delta data migration may take hours or days. So when you are planning staging upgrade approach, you need to ensure your Delta data migration estimates are correct, else your planning may go on toss, and your planned downtime will not be enough to prepare the environment to go live. From this slide, it is understood that we should estimate Delta data migration timing accurately. It's important for final downtime planning. So next slides will help you to understand each and every step to estimate the Delta data migration. To start with it, you need to have BMC Remedy Migrator installed on any of the Windows box, and their CLM Delta data migration packages are configured. All the required packages for CLM Delta data migrations are configured there. Once you go to Migrator home path, you will see following structure. Let me take you through actual folder structure. By default, BMC Remedy Migrator is installed in Program Files x86 folder. You can go to Migrator, Delta data migration, Utilities, Migrator Utilities, and here you can see AR entry counter bat. Now let's open the command prompt, right click on command prompt, run as administrator, go to the path where AR counter.bat is installed. Go to the path where AR entry counter.bat is available. You can copy the path to get delta data count for each CLM package defined in packages folder of delta data migration. Here I will show you to get the delta data count for one of the packages, and you can repeat the same for all remaining packages. Here you can see aircounter.bat have different parameters. -k, which is like package path with file name. -t is the date when you clone the environment. -s is the source server name. -u is the username. -p is the password for that server. -o is the file name which stores the form name mentioned in the package file with the record count created and updated since date mentioned in -. So here for -k I will mention the path of the package along with the file. I will mention the clone date, my source server. For -u, I will put the source AR server admin username and its password and the output file name. Copy this command and paste it in command prompt and hit enter. It will create an output file as mentioned in my command. If you see here, it lists down all the form name along with the record count and maximum number of records is in the group form, and the record count is 43. So this is the delta record. Those are created or updated since the delta date which I mentioned in the command. Here I would recommend to prepare Excel sheet with application name, package name and record count. After running AR entry counter utility for each package, note down delta record count in third column. So this way, once you through all the packages, got all the numbers, find out the highest delta count in your Excel sheet. Considering delta data migration performance number of 300 CIs per minute, I can say that for this much delta data, migration is going to take 103 minutes. So once you calculated the delta data migration time, you can plan further activities. So while planning the further activities, there are few recommendations. So once you estimated the delta data migration time, we can plan the further activities. While planning the further activities, few recommendations are there. It is always recommended to perform live DDM first and then final DDM. If the record count is very high, which is greater than 50k, then we recommend to go for live DDM first and then final DDM. If the record count is less than 50k, then we recommend to go for the final DDM, which will be taking less than 3 hours. To migrate delta data less than 50k, it is going to take less than 3 hours. So depending on planned downtime period, you can decide on which DDM to select and go ahead with further activities. I hope this session will help you to estimate delta data migration time and plan your final downtime in staging upgrade.